I could tell by the silence it was time. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Berkeley County Board of Education meeting this Tuesday, April 19th, 2022. I call the meeting to order. I declare a quorum of members present, and the media has been notified. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Make the motion.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Ramsey, a second from Ms. Tanner to approve the agenda. All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. By the way, Ms. Wofford is on the telephone with us, so just for your information. So the ayes have it by a vote of 7-0. We need a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting of March 22nd.
So
motion.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Ramsey, a second from Ms. Tanner to approve the minutes of the meeting of March 22nd. All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it by a vote of 7-0. We also need a motion to approve the minutes of the budget workshop of March 29th.
So moved.
I have a motion from Ms. Tanner, second from
Second.
Ms. Marone to approve the minutes of the budget workshop of March 29th. All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Make a statement.
Pardon me?
Just that,
Is there any discussion?
yes, my name is written incorrectly, so.
Would you put that microphone up so, there we go. Ms.
My name was written incorrectly. I'm sorry, I meant to tell you. So it's, was written as Little instead of Littleton.
Thank you for pointing that out. That's
Thank you.
Certainly. Got that, Ms. Bradley? Okay. Any other comments, any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor of approval of the minutes of the budget workshop March 29th, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it by a vote of 7-0. We also need a motion to enter into executive session.
Make the motion.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Ramsey, a second from Ms. Littleton to enter into executive session. The stated purposes of executive session are as follows: a discussion of the employment, demotion, discipline, or release of an employee or employees as needed, a discussion of negotiations incident to proposed contractual arrangements and acquisition of property, and a legal update regarding a pending, threatened, or potential claim or other matters covered by attorney-client privilege, and 3 student expulsion appeals. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor of entering into executive session, please respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. We are in executive session. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back promptly at 6:30. Is there a motion to return to regular session?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Ramsey, a second from Ms. Tanner to return to regular session. All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it by a vote of 8-0. For the record, no action was taken in executive session. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. This time I'll defer to Ms. Tanner for the Goose Creek High School Steel Band performance.
Good evening, everyone. We're now going to take a moment to watch Goose Creek High School's Steel Band, taught by Joshua Bowl, perform Easy Does It by Chris Tanner. Thank you, Mr. Bowl, Principal Shamika Washington, and this group of talented students. Next, I'd like to recognize Hal Ames, Principal Christopher Swetsky, and their art teacher, Brooke Iramescu, for submitting the beautiful student artwork that is displayed in the front entryway for everyone's enjoyment this evening. If you've not seen it yet, please stop by and check it out.
Next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. I'll read the procedures. In order to conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient manner, we ask that you honor the following guidelines. Stakeholder comments are welcomed and encouraged. However, the board will not take immediate action on public comments at this meeting. Any person wishing to address the board must register prior to the meeting. Comments must be regarding programs, policies, or procedures. Comments regarding complaints against employees other than district-level executives or references to students other than the child of the speaker will not be heard in public session. Groups addressing the same topic should select one speaker. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The board chair reserves the right to allot additional time or halt public comments that do not adhere to the guidelines. Our only speaker of this evening is Mr. Noel Curtis, and the comment is an increase of wages. Welcome, Mr. Curtis.
Hello. Okay. Good evening, members of the board, chairman, and Superintendent Jackson. My name is Noel Curtis, and I'm a proud member of the Cane Bay High School custodial team. I want to start with 3 thoughts. I love serving my school community, number 1. The points I'm going to make could be important for recruiting and maintaining quality custodians for the future of the district, number 2.
Can you come a little closer to the mic for us?
Yes, ma'am.
It's probably because I'm clogged, but thank you.
No problem. While my views may not represent every custodian, I believe that many would agree with me, number 3. Now, tonight, I would like to make some important points about the BCSD custodial pay rate. It is very difficult to take care of one's household making $9 to $14 an hour. The fluctuation of water and electricity can be controlled to an extent. Many of us struggle to pay rent, especially with the price of homes, apartments that we currently see across our area. In fact, the cost of living in Summerville, South Carolina is 8% higher than the national average. All people have felt the impact of grocery prices, gas prices, car insurance, etc. I do have a personal car payment, but that is only because I need a reliable car to get to and from work, as well as for driving my family around doctor's appointments and so forth. It is hard to earn a living with the current pay scale for custodians when your wage is not fitting or conducive to your situation. With these low wages, it is difficult to live a life that is not steady and struggle. This needs direct attention. Many of our schools are understaffed and overworked when it comes to the custodial employees. If we want to show our students, families, and teachers that we are truly invested in them, we need to show them buildings that we can take pride in. While many people play roles in this process, so much of the day-to-day weighs upon the backs of custodians. While more money is not always the answer, recruiting and retaining quality custodial workers is going to require consideration for raising the hourly wages. I researched the local area for some similar positions. In the city of North Charleston, for example, the minimum amount a custodian can make is $31,200, while the maximum amount is $46,800. These are various factors into this, such as leadership roles and experience, or there are various factors into this, such as leadership roles and experience. According to other sources, South Carolina ranks number 37 out of 50 states nationwide for school custodian salaries. I am sure it is a hiring hassle for our schools to find good help. The extra workloads and responsibilities for the rest of the custodial teams often have an impact on morale and productivity. I know this firsthand. I know that this board is passionate, I'm sure you are, about every member of the BCSD team, custodians included. I also realize that everyone wants and deserves more. Teachers across the nation are underpaid. I do not want to take anything away from that. I do not envy the task that each of you have in helping to meet the needs and make the decisions for our schools and employees. I am asking you tonight to consider a discussion about what pay scale increases for custodial staff could do for our quality of life, as well as the quality of care for our schools and students. And once those discussions occur, I am hopeful that you will see this as a series of actions and decisions that need to be made sooner rather than later. I know decisions will not be made tonight. It'd be nice if it could be. Thank you, and God bless you and your families.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. You know, normally we don't have much comment after somebody speaks, but I'd like to make a comment to Mr. Curtis. The last budget meeting workshop, we discussed some issues regarding some classified folks, and the next budget workshop is next Tuesday night following the regular board meeting, and it is on our agenda to look at all of our classified folks and do whatever we can within the constraints of the budget to assist you. And let me just say, your remarks were remarkable, and I applaud you for coming, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
The next item is items from executive session. We do have 3 expulsion appeals. I'll entertain a motion for the student expulsion appeal for student number 1.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to deny the appeal for student number 1.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from Ms. Marone, to deny the appeal of student expulsion appeal of number 1. Is there any discussion? Call the question. All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it unanimously by a vote of 8-0.
Mr. Chairman, I
abstained.
Excuse me, I apologize. Dr. Wigfall did abstain from that vote, so the vote was 7-0. I apologize, Dr. Wigfall. Thank you. The expulsion appeal of number 2.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to deny the appeal for student number 2.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from Ms. Littleton to deny the expulsion appeal of student number 2. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Nay.
We have a vote of 7-1 in favor of the motion. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to deny the appeal for student number 3.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from Ms. Marone to deny the expulsion appeal of student number 3. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Nay.
For those who voted yea, please raise your hand. 3, 4, 6, 6, and those who voted nay, raise your hand. The motion carries by a vote of 6-2. We also have several other items coming out of executive session. Ms. Littleton.
I move to approve the certified contracts and other recommendations for the 2022-2023 school year as presented by administration.
We have a motion from Ms. Littleton. Is there a second?
Second.
A second from Ms. Tanner to approve the certified contracts and other recommendations of the 2022-2023 school year as presented by the administration. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it unanimously by a vote of 8-0. And number 2, Ms. Marone.
I move to accept the personnel recommendations for the current school year as presented by the administration.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Marone, a second from Ms. Tanner to approve the recommendations of the administration as presented in executive session. Is there any discussion? All in favor of that motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries by a vote of 8-0. Mr. Ramsey.
I move to authorize the superintendent to negotiate with the town of Moncks Corner regarding the proposal discussed in executive session.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Ramsey, a second from Ms. Marone to authorize the superintendent to negotiate with the town of Moncks Corner regarding the proposal discussed in executive session, and Mr. McQuillan has recused himself from this vote. Is there any discussion? We'll call the question. All in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? The ayes have it by a vote of 7-0. Dr. Wigfall.
I make a motion to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Troy Johnson as the new assistant principal and also athletic director of Goose Creek High School with the contract to take effect on April 20th, 2022.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Have a motion from Dr. Wigfall, a second from Mr. Ramsey to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Mr. Troy Johnson as the new assistant principal athletic director at Goose Creek High School with a contract to take effect tomorrow. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay? Congratulations, Mr. Johnson. Stand up. Mr. Johnson, do you have any family or relatives or friends with you that you might want to recognize? Just you. Well, let's get a picture of him anyway. How about your principal? Is your principal with you? Okay. How about a picture?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Erica Wyatt as the new principal of Westview Elementary School with a contract to take effect on July 1st, 2022.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. We have a motion from Ms. Tanner, a second from
Second.
Dr. Wigfall to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Ms. Erica Wyatt as the new principal of Westview Elementary School with a contract to take effect on July 1, 2022. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor of the motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously by a vote of 8-0. Congratulations, Ms. Wyatt. How about your family? Let's get your family photo.
Yes.
All right, I'm speechless, guys. That doesn't happen often. I just want to say thank you so much. I'm excited about this opportunity. I brought today my amazing principal who I've learned everything from with me today. My husband, Brent, my oldest daughter, Emma, my middle daughter, Bella, my youngest is playing softball go Knights tonight, so she's not with us. My mom,
Go
my
Knights.
parents,
Go Knights.
and these amazing teachers. My amazing sister-in-law, who's Crystal Kane, and my niece, whose birthday is today, came to celebrate with me.
We may not have enough wall space for a picture, but let's try that anyway. Let's get all of your family up for a picture, if you will.
I'm very concerned about how she's going to reach out to her community.
Youthful spirit.
High angle. Can't get the chin, Brian.
Okay, you're up next.
High angle. Congratulations.
The next board item is temporary committee assignments if necessary, and they are not necessary this evening. We do have a quorum of members for each committee. And the next item is Superintendent's report by Mr. Deion Jackson. Mr. Jackson.
Good evening, Mr. Barrow, members of the board, members of the audience, cabinet. We have a full house tonight. We typically don't have that during superintendent's comments. Last week we had our spring break and we're heading dead into the finish for the rest of the school year. And so it's a mad dash until the end of the school year. I'll keep my remarks brief this evening. I will yield the balance of my time to actually Lieutenant Dodd a little bit later on. Yesterday, we had our Berkeley County School District Office Professional Development and School Support organized our first annual BCSD N3D Support Staff Conference. It was held yesterday at Goose Creek High. More than 320 of our support staff members participated in sessions themed and based on feedback from principals and staff members. The goal was to ensure that our support staff knows that they are appreciated and they're supported both personally and professionally. That was a huge showing, especially for it being our first. I want to thank everyone who joined us yesterday and all of you that helped make this event a success. And next year's event is already in the works and they're planning that already. Earlier today, this morning, Parker's Fueling the Community. How many folks are familiar with that program?
Oh, not the program, Parker's.
Familiar with Parker's.
They got great chicken livers, I tell you.
They do, and gizzards. So a lot of us are familiar with Parker's. A lot of us are not familiar with the Fuel in the Community program. So today, representatives from Parker's Kitchen presented an $18,000 check to the district. These are proceeds of the Fuel in the Community program. On the first Wednesday of every month, Parker's donates 1 cent per every gallon of gas sold through this program. In addition to filling up on the first Wednesdays, Parker's Pump Pal members can also select a school to designate those funds to. So how many of you knew that? None of us, right? And so now you know. But you can designate where to designate those funds to, select where to designate those funds to as a direct donation. We're thankful for Parker's Kitchen and their generosity in support of education and our community, and we look forward to partnering further as we support education. And now I will defer to Mr. Tim Knight and Lieutenant Travis Dodd.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Chairman Baer, members of the board. As you know, we are in the midst of prom season. While this is a happy and joyous time in many of our high school students' lives, it can also bring devastating consequences due to underage drinking. Each year with our strong partnerships, we join our law enforcement partners to keep our students safe before, during, and after prom. I'd now like to introduce Lieutenant Travis Dodd of the Milks Corner Police Department to read a proclamation.
Thank you very much. Underage drinking is a national public health issue with serious implications. Although we have accomplished so much in Berkeley County to address this pervasive problem, there is still so much more we can do. According to a study by the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, an estimated 10 million young people younger than the age of 21 drank alcohol in the past month in the United States. However, many young people start drinking before the age of 15. The Monitoring the Future survey found that 70% of 12th graders in the United States have tried alcohol at some time in their lives. The survey also found that 27% of 10th graders said they had consumed alcohol in the 30-day period prior to the survey. Whereas underage drinking has severe consequences, many of which parents and caregivers may not be fully aware. Consequences of underage drinking may include injury or death from accidents, unintended, unwanted, and unprotected sexual activity, academic problems, and drug use. And whereas parents and caregivers have a significant influence on young people's decisions about alcohol consumption, especially when they create supportive and nurturing alcohol-free environments. And whereas youth who start drinking before the age of 15 are 5 times more likely to develop alcohol dependence or abuse later in life after those who begin drinking at or after the age of 21. And whereas alcohol by the use of young people is dangerous not only because of the risks associated with acute impairment, but also because of the grave threat to their long-term development and well-being. Whereas parents, educators, and community leaders who work with our young people every day are our best advocates for responsible decision-making. And whereas high schools within the county are preparing for their junior-senior proms, with Berkeley Middle College High School on April 1st, Goose Creek High School on April 29th, Cross High School on April 30th, Hanahan High School on April 30th, Phillips Simmons High School on April 30th, Berkeley High School on May 13th, Timberland High School on May 14th, Stratford High School on May 31st, and Cane Bay High School on May 29th. Therefore, be it resolved that the Berkeley County School District Board formally designates April 1st through May 31st, 2022 as Underage Drinking Prevention and Awareness Months in Berkeley County.
I'd like a motion for a prom proclamation.
I move to designate April 1st to May 31st, 2022 as Underage Drinking Prevention and Awareness Months in Berkeley County School District.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Marone, a second from Ms. Tanner to designate April 1st through May 31st, 2022 as Underage Drinking Prevention and Awareness Months in Berkeley County School District. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor of this proclamation, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And there are none opposed. A unanimous vote, 8-0. Thank you for that proclamation.
Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Moving right along to the board chair report, just a couple of items. Number one, we will have our regularly scheduled board meeting next Tuesday. This was obviously a makeup for the meeting that was canceled due to inclement weather. And immediately following that particular regular scheduled meeting, as I indicated to Mr. Curtis, we will have a budget workshop, and it is important that as many, if not all, of our board members come for that workshop, because it is consequential to our employees and to our school district to make sure that these operational budgets are sound and fiscally responsible. And I think Ms. Smith is going to give us a great presentation next week. There's also some information that I feel compelled to share, and it is regarding a Senate bill that was introduced in December. And actually, I've got some comments that I've written down, if you'll bear with me. I want to give the public an update concerning South Carolina Senate Bill S-910 and the redrawing of the school board of trustees maps that are required by law following any census. On December 6, 2021, Senator Larry Grooms filed the bill S-910 that would eliminate the 9th School Board District and align the 8 remaining seats with the Berkeley County Council. This was done without informing the school district or the board chair of this filing. The South Carolina Senate approved the bill, and the bill was sent to the South Carolina House of Representatives, where it was sent to the local representatives delegation, consisting of Representatives Celeste Davis, Joe Danning, Joe Jefferson, J.A. Moore, Crystal Matthews, and Mark Smith. The majority of the delegation, not all, approved an amendment to the bill S-910, which, if it becomes law, will require the 8 single-member districts to be elected this November, which is unprecedented, and an at-large seat that will be filled by the current board chair until the November 2024 election. The amended bill must be voted on and approved by the South Carolina House of Representatives, and then to the South Carolina Senate, where the amended bill must be ratified. If these votes in the House and Senate are approved, then the bill would be sent to the governor for his signature. If the governor does not sign the bill into law, the bill could return to the legislature for an override vote. This would require a 2/3 vote of both the House and South Carolina Senate. Should the amended bill S-910 not become law, the school board seats would remain 9 single-member districts that would have to be redrawn in order to comply with the data from the 2020 census. The board has been made aware of a free service provided by the South Carolina Senate that will draw the lines for the school district. This service must be requested by a South Carolina State Senator. I have requested Senator Grooms to authorize this work to be done on 2 separate occasions. Senator Grooms has not responded to my request for him to assist this school district with this free service. In fact, he has not responded to me at all. I want the public to be aware of the status of the amended bill, and I also want the public to know that this school board has made every effort to take advantage of the free Senate service to redraw the lines in case the bill does not become law. Our efforts to have the lines drawn at no cost to the taxpayers of Berkeley County have fallen on deaf ears. The good people of Berkeley County should be told why the same senator that filed this bill is non-responsive to the school board request for this free service. Finally, I want to say that I am not in favor of S910 or the amended bill S910. Even though the amended bill requires that the current board chair would remain chair until November 2024, I do not support this. This amendment is in a contradiction to the board policy, BA, in which the board chair and officers of this board have a 2-year term limit. This bill also would limit the terms of members elected in 2020 to a 2-year term instead of the 4-year term that these voters approved. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very concerned that if S910 fails for whatever reason, we will not have necessary maps drawn free of charge to this school district. It is appalling to me that this opportunity has been neglected by our lawmaker who filed this bill. And I am not happy about it, but these are my thoughts as the board chair. I do not necessarily speak for the entire board because each board member may have different thoughts and different opinions. That concludes my remarks. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting so that the committees may convene.
So moved.
I have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Ms. Tanner to adjourn, a second from Ms. Littleton. Is there any discussion? We'll call the question. All in favor of adjourning so the committees may meet, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Meeting is adjourned. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. If you'd like to dismiss yourself now, you're more than welcome to. Congratulations to all of those who have new jobs.
She's going to be fun. We good?
Thank you. Thank you.
Could we have somebody close those doors behind them, please? Katie, would you do that? Ms. Littleton, you may convene your committee. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I am calling the Committee on Academics and Innovation to order. I declare there is a quorum of committee members present and note that this meeting has been given proper notice pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I made the motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Ramsey and a second by Dr. Wigfall. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion is approved with a vote of 3-0. The only item on the agenda is the Head Start Budget Expenditure Report for February and the Head Start Credit Report for February. What is the pleasure of the committee?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the Head Start Budget Expenditure Report for February and the Head Start Credit Card Report for February.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Wigfall and a second by Mr. Ramsey. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion is approved by a vote of 3-0. At this time, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn the committee meeting so that the Finance and Capital Planning Committee can begin.
I make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Ramsey and a second by Dr. Wigfall. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against, say nay. The motion is approved 3-0.
I'm calling the Committee on Finance and Capital Planning to order. I declare there's a quorum of committee members present and would ask, has the media been properly notified pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act? Yes, it has. Okay. First agenda item is out-of-state travel. Ms. Smith, you're recognized.
Good evening, Chairman McQuillan, board members, and Superintendent Jackson. Administration is requesting approval for the out-of-state travel as presented.
I move to approve out-of-state travel as presented. Do we have a second?
Second. Sorry.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it by a vote of 3-0. The second agenda item is building envelope repairs at the Fishburne Education Center. Ms. Smith, you are again recognized.
Thank you. This bid was conducted to identify a responsive and responsible contractor to complete the building envelope repairs at Fishburne Education Center. Administration is requesting award to Watts & Associates Waterproofing LLC for a project total of $128,700.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. I move to approve the award of RFP 629-2122 for building envelope repairs at Fishburne Education Center to Watts & Associates Waterproofing LLC for a total project cost of $128,700. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it by a vote of 3-0. The third agenda item is RFP 632-2122, Ahera Consulting and Inspection Services. Ms. Smith, you are again recognized.
This solicitation was conducted to secure a contract for Ahera inspections and updates to our Ahera management plan to ensure compliance with 40 CRF 763 Subpart E to Appendix C Asbestos Hazard Emergency Response Act. This was a competitive bid process with a total of 3 bids received. The initial contract term is 1 year with the option to renew for 4 additional 1-year terms. The contract also allows for the additional services as needed during the 5-year contract term. After tabulation and evaluation, the highest ranked responsive and responsible offerer is S&ME Incorporated with an estimated 1-year contract value of $33,150 and an estimated 5-year contract value of $57,900.
Move to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it by a vote of 3-0. The fourth agenda item is RFP 640 HVAC control replacement for 25 locations, ESSER 3 funds. Ms. Smith, you are again recognized.
Thank you. This solicitation was conducted to secure a responsive and responsible contractor for replacement of HVAC controls for 25 schools that were approved with ESSER 3 funding. The project is to improve indoor air quality, which consists of replacing current controls with the new up-to-date energy management systems, which will also make the systems uniform district-wide. Evaluation of the one offerer received is the current building automation system contractor. This project is within the approved budget, and the awarded vendor is Palmetto Controls Incorporated for a project total for all 25 schools, $6,316,296, including a 3% allowance of $189,488.88
for a total of $6,505,784.88.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Ayes have it by a vote of 2 to 1. The fifth agenda item is 2021-2022 General Fund Budget Amendment. Ms. Smith, you are recognized again.
Thank you. At the March budget workshop, I presented information regarding additional revenue expected to be received by June the 30th. In June of 2021, the board approved the 21-22 budget with expenditures in excess of revenue in the amount of $7,657,804. The revenue budget was approved for $335.9 million, and in July, the board approved an amendment of $3.089 million to increase revenue and expenditures due to the state increasing the teacher salary scale by $1,000. This amendment this evening is to increase revenue by the following: local tax revenue of $2.6 million, fee in lieu of taxes $6 million, EFA funding $703,000, state aid to classrooms $602,000, and a reimbursement for property tax relief by $737,000. It is offset by a decrease in teacher salary supplement, which was overstated by $3 million, bringing the total increase to revenue of $7.6 million. Administration is requesting a budget amendment to increase revenue in the amount of $7,657,804, resulting in a balanced budget for the school year for 21-22.
We have a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? So this is just increased revenue that I guess we got this information from the county that more funds will be coming in?
Yes, sir. I base this on, we usually get our local tax revenue and fee in lieu in January and February, and we received additional revenue, and we expect to receive more through June 30th.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it by a vote of 3 to 0.
These are conservative projections, Ms. Smith.
Yes, sir. As always.
Okay. Thank you.
Move to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Committee is adjourned.
I'm calling the Committee on Human Resources to order. I declare there is a quorum of committee members present and note that the media has been given proper notice pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of this motion respond by saying aye. Aye. The motion is approved by a vote of 2 to 0. The first agenda item is the 2022-2023 school renewal plans. Dr. Natasha Wright, you are recognized.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Superintendent Jackson, and board members. We are asking for approval of the district's strategic plans and school renewal plans as required by the State Board of Education, Regulation 43-261, SC Code ANN.59-18-1300. The plans are developed every 5 years and are updated annually within the 5-year cycle and can be edited at any time throughout the school year. This year, we are beginning the second year of the 5th-year planning cycle, which means that all schools, along with the district, will be refining their goals, strategies, and action steps based on their needs. The Cognia accreditation process, along with other data measurements and results, will drive the revisions to our district plan. Drafts of all plans are available for you to view through April 28th before they are submitted to the State Department of Education. The plans are truly a working, living roadmap for all stakeholders. An improvement model is in place that supports the continuous improvement process that the district and schools use to monitor progress of their programs, practices, and procedures to ensure students learn and receive the resources they need in our schools. Goal areas include student achievement, teacher administrator quality, and school climate. Plans should be completed in collaboration with schools and community stakeholders and should include members of the School Improvement Council, Title I Planning Team, and any other advisory groups at the school or district levels. District and school budgets should be aligned to the district and school plans. Are there any questions?
I make a motion to approve the 2022-2023 school renewal plans as submitted by administration. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved by a vote of 2-0. Second agenda item is the 2022-2023 allocation formulas draft. Dr. Wright, you're again recognized.
We are asking for approval of the Berkeley County School District 2022-2023 allocation formulas. The number of days for school record clerks in the elementary schools have been extended from 205 to 245 days. The number of days for school record clerks in middle school have been extended from 225 to 245 days. These days were extended to ensure that new student registration and transfers are in Power School in a timely manner. Section for special services was updated. Proviso chart for paraprofessionals was updated to reflect the 2022-2023 school year. This adjustment of the allocations formula will allow for maximum use of our resources as we continue to work to provide high-quality instructional programs. Are there any questions?
I do have a question. So these dates that we're requiring them to work, that's in their contracts?
Say that one.
So these dates, so that they went up, that's in their contracts now, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So as you've adjusted the allocations, can you clarify what is happening with the mental health workers?
It's been updated in the allocations formula. I can get you some more information on that. Do you have a specific question about them? When you say
It's just been updated to reflect the current practices. And so because it's stricken doesn't mean that they've been removed. It's been changed the way that those folks are allocated. And so they're more centralized with respect to secretaries and also the mental health workers. We just don't allocate them in the same way that we used to. And so it's updated to reflect the current practices.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I make a motion to approve the draft 2022-2023 allocation formulas as presented by the administration. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it by a vote of 2-0. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are approved to adjourn.
A reminder, there is a 5 o'clock beginning on next Tuesday's board meeting. Because of the budget workshop, we're going to begin the regular meeting at 5 o'clock.